next item is the engineer's report.
All right. I guess the next thing is the authorization for the MS4 annual report. I submitted it to Borough Council at the work session meeting. It's year 7 reporting for going from March 10th, 2009 through March 9th, 2010 to submit to DEP. And DEP expects submission by tomorrow, June 9th. So I'm asking for approval to submit this report to DEP on behalf of the borough.
We have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved. We have a second? And then we can discuss the report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion about the report?
Could I just ask, we, for the benefit of the public, tell them what this is?
This is a report. It's a permit or a report that goes to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Resources. It has to do with the municipal's methods and ways of preventing pollution via storm sewer and runoff, and following certain standards set by DEP, and also conducting what they call minimum measures, such as public outreach and education to educate residents not to dump anything down in the inlets, or, you know, do a lot of car washing in the driveway, or, you know, do things that will pollute the storm water that runs into the inlets and eventually gets into the stream. So there's certain measures that the borough is responsible to perform to educate the public, and also to do their part in preventing pollution via stormwater into the streams.
So how many years do we have to do this? So we're in year 7. Do we just kind of keep doing year 8, year 9?
For now. I think originally it was supposed to be a 5-year program, but they've extended it, so now we're reporting on year 7.
Okay. I did have 2 questions. The first is when you made reference to the engineering study for Old Skunky in a couple places,
Yes.
you referred to the grant as being a Growing Greener grant.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it actually was a Growing Greener grant. Do you want to check on that? I know it's from the DCED, wasn't it? I'm not sure if it was that, if it was designated Growing Greener.
Do we have a copy that I can, or at least the wording that I can change the wording in here? From when the grant was received?
Pat should have all that in her
Pat?
office.
Okay, I'll check with Pat.
Yeah.
It's more. All right,
Yeah, and there were 2 references that way.
Okay.
And my second question was that you enclosed a map that's the storm drainage system plan and it's dated 1998, revised 2006, so it was obviously correct for then. But, I mean, Old Skunky has changed its path and some of through the Toll Brothers development and so on. At what point do we have to revise this map? Where it goes through Toll Brothers development and becomes a basin and all that. Do we have to, does this have to get updated for like maybe year 8?
we could update it this year for year 8 for next year.
Yeah, because then, you know, the culverts are different and,
Okay.
and all that's different. Are there any other questions for Mary Ellen? Okay. Anyone from the audience have a question about the MS4 report? Yeah. Okay. Can you come to the microphone, please?
Not necessarily the report, but how do we inform the public, and how frequently and in what manner do we inform the public of these concerns?
That's a very good question. Right now, there are brochures at the municipal building at Borough Hall having to do with different stormwater regulations and public education. Also, on the website, there are various links from DEP and EPA that discuss different ways to pollution prevention for the waterways. We are, I guess, in discussion about putting discs or placards on the inlets or stenciling them in such a way that it'll bring visual attention so that before someone goes to dump anything in the inlets, whether it's trash or grass clippings or who knows what, the placard will remind people that the inlets are for storm water and it drains to the streams. So there are all different ways to educate the public.
The last way I see where most people would see that if they are actually at the storm sewer,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
But talking about the doing cars, washing cars in the driveway or something, a lot of people don't access your website, and they don't come to Borough Hall to say, oh, what can't I do, or whatever. So maybe something more public, such as something in the paper on a regular basis, because I've seen on State Street where I've seen a business sweeping all their trash into the storm sewer.
Well,
So I think something more substantial needs to be done so the public is aware of it.
Could you identify yourself, please? For the,
I'm June Hilbert.
Oh, thank you.
all right, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. If not, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so you'll be submitting it tomorrow to be
Yes.
on time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next is the Newtown Artesian Water Company State Street project update, having to do with the curb ramps that were recently installed. I spoke with the design engineer about the ramps, and they had survey as-built done of each ramp, and they checked the as-built of the ramps that have been put in against the PennDOT details for conformance. They feel that they all conform. They have the one ramp that was put in at Washington Avenue and State Street in front of the Brook Hotel that would really skew the crosswalk crossing State Street. They are going to submit the as-built information and drawing to PennDOT to see if PennDOT has objection to how that's located, because it really does skew the crosswalk, and, you know, perhaps PennDOT won't agree with that. Perhaps they will, but they're going to submit the as-built to PennDOT to see if they have any comments about it. Also, they have 2 remaining curb ramps to put in on the intersection across Washington Avenue from the Brook Hotel, where the office building is. They are in the process of redesign to locate them so that they're better location and will line up with the opposing or connecting curb ramps on the other side of the street. So I asked them to send me a plan of that redesign, and they said that they would.
Any questions for Mary Ellen about this?
Does that mean that they didn't go to PennDOT before they started the work?
Oh, no, they went to PennDOT.
That was the holdup last year.
No, they went to
couldn't
PennDOT.
So
And-
why are we going back to PennDOT with the Washington and State Street problem? I mean, if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And why wouldn't it have been picked up by PennDOT at the beginning?
Well, we met with them, and we met with them a few weeks ago and brought it to their attention that we were concerned about the curb ramp, that the borough was concerned about the curb ramp and the really skewed crosswalk. And they agreed to do as-built at the meeting, and have agreed to resubmit to PennDOT with that ramp. The other 2, they were looking at to find a better location. I guess they have an approved plan to go with PennDOT, but they're trying to, I guess, with those, be sensitive to the borough's concerns that have been voiced recently and try to line them up better with the connecting ramps.